the changes made by the applicant in this and the previous iteration, which include the reduction in the amount of glazing overall, the extension of the front porch, and the more traditional profile and material of the proposed windows will allow for the new home to be compatible with the neighborhood and contribute to the character of the district. And the applicant's also here if anyone has questions for him.
Let the record show that Virginia has recused herself from this case. We are glad to have the applicant with us. We're getting to be old friends. The floor is open for comments from commissioners about the changes to the design that we are now seeing.
So it would appear that he's complied with what he was requested of him at the last meeting.
Agree.
I agree. Are there any other comments or questions for Kate or for Mr. Lyons? Mr. Lyons, you have done, I think, everything that we have suggested that you do with the sides, with the sills, with the lights, with the roof, with the front door, and we appreciate your willingness to do those things. Is there a motion that we approve this case as presented tonight?
So moved.
This motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor of approving case number 835, say aye.
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 Any opposed? I'm sorry, please go ahead and vote. Priscilla.
Aye.
Thank you. I stepped on your words there. Any opposed? If not, case 835 is approved. Next case is 843, a COA requested by Anna Buskirk for exterior modifications to existing structure located at 1515 Pierce Avenue. This case was tabled from October. Kate?
Yes, so as Jack mentioned, this case is continued from our previous meeting. 1515 Pierce Avenue is a contributing residential structure in the South Lamar Historic District. So the plan for this property and the existing building was heard at the October meeting, and since that hearing, the applicant made significant changes to the plans. So I'll take you through those really quickly. The previous iteration, there was a proposed front addition, which is no longer a part of the plans. The applicant plans to retain the existing front elevation as is. They still plan to remove the existing carport and build new additions. The new side and rear addition includes the infill of an existing porch and a portion of the carport. The new siding will match the existing wavy asbestos siding in profile, dimension, and reveal. And staff finds that this proposal meets the recommendations of the design guidelines, that additions should be located to non-character defining elevations at the rear of the building, and that the addition is designed appropriately to be limited in size and scale in relationship to the historic building. And then you'll recall that they were proposing replacing all windows on the property at the prior hearing. The applicant's proposal, which they've changed tonight, now includes to retain the existing windows on the front elevation, which we believe are original. And then they're proposing to make some slight changes on the east and west elevation, as well as adding new windows and to replace the windows at the rear. You'll recall that at the previous hearing, we looked at photos of that rear addition and determined that those windows are not the same as those on the front. So staff is supportive of this request, so that would include retaining the front windows and replacing the side and rear windows. So staff is recommending approval of the COA as proposed by the applicant. And Emily McGee is on hand if anyone has questions for her, and she's here on behalf of the applicant.
Fine. Emily, would you like to say anything to the commission in addition to what Kate has said? That's fine. We'll see if there are questions, and if there are, we'll ask you to come forward. When we saw this before, our concerns were the change to the front facade, the footprint of the front facade, a lot of F's there. And you have modified that as we suggested. We had talked about the windows on the front to retain the original windows, if at all possible. The addition to the side and the renovation of the rear, we had no problem with the last time we talked with you. Do any commissioners have any comments about the changes that we're seeing now?
I think it looks great.
Yeah, from starting point to ending point, if this is the ending point, excellent work.
See a lot of nods left and right. The windows on the sides and the major changes in the back would be the only other issues. Last time there was, I did not hear any real negative comments about either of those. Do those still meet with the approval of the commission, I assume? So, is there a motion to approve case number 842 as presented tonight?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The case number 842 is approved. Thank you. The next case is case 846, COA requested by Scott and Kathy Knight to install new fencing at 616 South 11th Street.
Thanks, and we'll note for the record that
Joel
Mr. Little
is recusing himself.
Yes. So, this house on 616 South 11th Street, the applicant seeks approval for an overall rear yard plan to include new fencing and walls, a new brick patio, and other elements, including a water feature and seating area. This proposal will require a fence height variance from the Planning Commission, which is on their agenda for the next meeting. According to the applicant, they're seeking a COA for a landscaping plan and to enclose the side and rear yard with a combination of wood and brick fencing. The fence facing Fillmore and South 11th Street will be a 6-foot wooden fence, and then closure on the west side will be of brick and wood. The brick base will also serve as a retaining wall to aid in drainage from the house next door that's at a slightly higher elevation. If any of you visited the site, there's an existing wood picket fence that fronts Fillmore Avenue, and so that's what would be replaced. While brick and wood are commonly used in acceptable materials in Oxford's historic districts, the guidelines do recommend against mixed material fencing. So that's sort of what we're here to discuss, if the commission believes that it's appropriate. The specific reference is to avoid fence designs that mix construction materials unless documented by physical evidence or historic photographs and drawings. Inappropriate for historic houses or fences constructed of vertical brick piers that are spanned by vertical boards or panels of wrought iron. So, I worded your recommendation a little bit in a confusing manner. The fence that's gonna face out to Fillmore Avenue is gonna be fully wood, and that's what staff would recommend. And then the fencing that they're proposing, that would be a brick base and then brick piers with wood, boards in between, is gonna be in between the two properties on, so that doesn't front Fillmore Avenue. So that's what staff is requesting guidance on from the commission. So it's wood fencing at Fillmore, which you can see in the bottom of the diagram, and then it's brick and wood until the water feature, and then it's fully brick, yeah. And I believe that Katrina and Bob Mercier are here, on behalf of the applicant, if anyone has questions for them.
Thank you, Kay.
Yeah.
When I was looking at this, I had a kind of a difficult time understanding where the two streets were on this illustration. Can you zoom, zoom out to that. At the bottom, and probably the rest of you understood it more clearly, the bottom of the illustration on the right, at somewhat of a little angle, that's Fillmore. We were looking at the very back side of the house that is in yellow. And as Kate said, the wooden fence that fronts, the fence that fronts Fillmore, is all wood, and will require approval or variance from the planning commission to be, 6 feet tall.
Correct, yeah. Technically, a front yard, 4 feet is the tallest that it would normally be allowed, so that's why they're requesting variance for those 6 foot with
Right.
there.
And the mixed materials is contrary to what, the city's guidelines recommend. But I think in this case, because it is not fronting a street, I don't know that that'll be a real issue. We'll see if it is.
And it looks like it's only 1 foot of brick above the finished grade. Yeah.
And that too is, sort of mitigates, the concern about the mixed materials. Any questions from anybody or concerns about the COA as presented?
I have a question about the wood fence in the front. Why does it need to exceed the normal height guidelines?
And did you understand the question from the commissioner?
Yes. I'm Bob Mercier, I'm a landscape architect. The fence is taller to give them privacy from Fillmore as well as keep their dog inside, in the property.
Priscilla, did you hear that response?
I did.
Thank you. Any other questions for the designer?
Does anyone, one more question about the fence. I have a thing about fences in the front of properties. Does anyone else on the street have a fence that tall? It sets a precedent in my experience that once someone gets a fence that's over height, then then other neighbors start to request them.
I think we see this request most commonly on a corner lot, like you're seeing here.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit challenging because the property owner has 2 fronts, whereas I
Correct.
think it would be affordable, at least from a staff perspective, it would be more difficult to support for a property that just wanted it for enough, side or rear, or the actual front of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a follow-up to that, what are the guidelines about the distance between a fence, and the sidewalk? And I say that because this fence is actually set back a pretty good distance from the sidewalk. If it were closer to the sidewalk, I would probably have more problem with it
Yeah,
as
and it
well.
has to be on the applicant's property.
Say again?
It would have to be on the applicant's property, but there's no fence setback, although this one is set back.
Okay.
Oh, well, and the height is 4 feet in a front yard, so in front of the front building line. And then if they were to push the fence past the front building line, so where you see the front of the house in yellow, it
Yeah.
could be up to 8 feet.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And the rear fence is 8 feet, but that is, permissible. There's not an issue with that.
They're asking for essentially a 2 foot variance because they have a front there.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
What height is the current fence?
It's about 4 feet.
It's a little picket fence.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a solid wood fence
Yes.
rather than a picket.
Yes.
Another corner lot. Are there any other questions, comments? If not, is there a motion to approve case 846? So moved. There's a motion, is there a second? Second. Motion and a second, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
One nay, and 5 ayes. The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other business from any commissioner or staff? If not, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So adjourned.
Is there a second?
Motion.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned.